Hey y'all, so this is Emily. This is just gonna be a quick vlog, hopefully. I don't have too much in my mind, but something that's reiterated to me recently is just people's trust. I don't know why, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe I'm the person that like goes with the flow, a lot. And so I think that by being a person like that, people always feel like they can abuse you, they can use you whenever they want because you're so go with the flow that they're gonna be like, oh, you're always down for anything. No, I'm not. All right. The thing is, I'm trying to say, when I say I'm go with the flow, I mean, like, I'm trustworthy. Like, if you need me there, I'll be there. Like, if you need me there, I'll be there. If you want somebody to, like, go with you places and to be there with you, and they're gonna be there 100%, like, they're not gonna back out on their words, like, that's me. I'm not saying I'm so good with the flow that, like, whenever you feel like you need me, and then, like, you can just call me up or hit me up. Like, I'm not that kind of go with the flow, alright? And I guess what I'm just trying to say is I'm trying to tell people, hey, I'm reliable. Like, if you're serious about this, then you let me know, And I think something that I just really hate is that I know God's testing me because just recently, like, especially all of the friends and the people in my life that I have, like become closer with, just ends up like fucking me over like so much, and it just annoys the shit out of me because like it's always at the expense of our friendship. Like their stupidity, the decisions that they make is at the expense of our friendship, and that makes me think like I'm not an important person to you. That's why you feel like I can give you up, and like I'm not here to stick around for that, and honestly, like, just one of my friends that, like, she's one of my closest friends that I've had for a long time, but, damn, this girl she always last minute, like, dips out. She has big dreams, she talks big, but she does nothing. She's one of those people, she does nothing to make it happen. She can't do things by herself, but she wants to do things by herself, right? And, like, if nobody does it, she's not gonna do it either, and it's just, like, that kind of person, like, just recently, what I'm trying to say is, like, I needed her help, like, the most. I needed her help just, like, 2 days ago, and this girl did not show up. And I was just thinking, like, I know she had a family. It wasn't even a family emergency, It was just more like her sister had given birth, and so she wanted to go see her in the hospital. All right, like, go do that. And then, like she told us, oh, yeah, my sister, gave birth. And I was like, cool, like, congratulations. And I thought that was just like, I'm gonna let you know that my sister gave birth, that's it. Like, I thought our plans were still on. No, it was her message was, no, my sister gave birth, so I'm not coming tonight. But she didn't tell me that. So I went and I was like waiting, and this bitch never shows up. So then I'm just kind of like, what the fuck is happening, And then today she has the audacity to come to me and she's like, I'm sorry I didn't show up. And I'm like, thanks for telling me, like, 2 days later. Like, you know what I mean? For me, like, at that moment when I knew, it was like an hour later when I was waiting for her and I knew that she wasn't coming anymore, I just did not even rely on her anymore because what I had to do, like, I just had to get the deed done. And the thing was, I was making like 55 little boutonnieres and I just needed her to come through, but she didn't come through, so I did them all by myself with a few other little people around me, and I had to just tell them a little bit of what I had to do. But the thing is, like, she knew what I wanted to do. She knew how the boutonnieres look like. Like, we had discussed this. We had planned it. And it just didn't work out. Like, she just didn't show up. So I was like, okay, fuck that. But at that moment, like, the only reason why I'm mad about it is because she came back and talked to me about it. I'm the kind of person that is, like, if I'm mad, then, like, and you want to resolve things, we gotta resolve things right now, because we're not gonna resolve things later. Like, I'm not gonna hold things out later. If you're passive aggressive, I'm super passive aggressive. If you don't, like, I'm like, over. If we have bullshit between you and me, we gotta resolve, and you want to get it resolved, like, we want to get it resolved, we still want to be good friends, we resolve that shit right now. But if you still want to be friends with me and you want to resolve this, like, 5 days later, it's not gonna happen. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna be that person that, like, waits. And I'm not gonna be like, if I'm passive aggressive, I'm gonna be a passive aggressive till the end. Like, we didn't solve it when it happened. I don't give a fuck about you anymore. Like, that's just who I am, you know? And that's exactly, like, what has been happening is that I've just been, like, really forgiving towards this person. I'm, like, forgiving, trying to be understanding, forgiving. Like, we would plan things. We would plan so many things, like, countless, like, over, like, hundreds of things where this is not the first time that she's dipped out on me. But I'm just, like, honestly, I have had enough of her bullshit. Like, I've come to that point where I'm just kind of like, fuck you. Like, honestly, just fuck you. And, like, I've been telling her that slowly, like, I'm not going to hang out with you much anymore, so she doesn't really plan stuff with me. But then, just recently, like, we have a good time when we're together, but then just recently, like, every time that we do plan things, she never comes through. Like, she just never comes through, you know? Unless, like, it's her thing, and she invites me. Then, of course, I always come through. Like, I'm always there. But when I plan it, she never comes. When we both plan it together, she never comes. And it does not make any sense to me. So, that's why I'm kind of like, fuck you. But as of right now, it's in a recent event that just happened, too, was this girl was asking me questions, right? Different story. This girl was asking me questions about her relationship. And I knew some insight because I was there. I happened to be there when we had gone on that trip, and she was asking me about her boyfriend, cause I went on that trip with her boyfriend. It was like a group thing, and she wasn't there, so like he's involved in, he's like, we're all in this church thing, so he's just going with the church and stuff. But some shit went down, and she was asking me questions. I didn't know that she was trying to be investigative and shit, but what had happened was she asked some questions. I just said what I witnessed. I said what I saw, and she was like, oh, that doesn't line up to like what he was telling me. So I was like, well, what did he tell you? And she was saying all this other stuff, and I was like, that's not right. So then she got mad, and I was telling her, I was like, oh, and like the thing is, I'm good friends with her boyfriend too. So I was just like, well, you know what? I was like, don't tell him that I told you that. Like, just tell him, like, if anything, like, I don't think that's right that he lied to you, but try to do your best to get the truth out of him. Like, don't tell him straight up, like, Emily told me this. Just like, be like, are you sure about what you said? Are you sure that that is the truth? Like, is this the truth? I'm just not sure. Like, it just doesn't make sense that if this event had happened, that Emily would have done that, you know, as well. Because the thing was, he lied about me too. He lied that I would helped him out in that situation, and I have no clue why the fuck he did that, because I was not in it at all. Anyways, point is, that did not happen, because when we had talked about that, I was like, man, I didn't know that you were gonna get all like this, you know. I didn't know she was being investigative or anything like that. I was just telling her, like, oh yeah, like, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So I felt like I was a victim in this case. And then she was like, well, and then she got mad, and she was saying all this stuff, like, well, he didn't tell me the truth then, because this is what he told me. And I was like, I didn't know that was a problem, I didn't know it was an issue. So that's where shit went down. And then I was telling her, I was like, well, I didn't mean to, like, tell you that I, like, piss you off, but, you know, like, if anything, try to, like, I was like, it's not right that he's lying to you, but try to get the truth out of him somehow without mentioning my name, please. Like, don't use me or don't put me in this at all, because it's not about me, and, like, just don't put me in it. And she was like, yeah, she's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I got you. And I was like, okay. Bitch goes home. Couldn't hold back her tongue. She goes, Emily tells me this. And she's like, she was just like, why couldn't you just tell me the truth from the beginning? I can't believe you didn't tell me the truth, because Emily told me this and that. Like, that she didn't help you out, and, like, why did you lie to me and stuff. So that became, like, a bigger problem. And, like, eventually he had to cave in, and he, like, told the truth and stuff. But then, like, now, like, our relationship isn't that awkward. Like, my relationship with her boyfriend as a friend, it's, like, it's not that awkward, but it kind of is, because all of that is happening in the back of my mind. But the thing is, like, she went home and she told him, when she told me she wasn't gonna tell him, right? I told her, I was like, figure out a way for him to tell you the truth without you using my name. And she did not do that. And then the next day, like 2 days later, actually, I met up with her. And I was like, so did you tell him that I told you? Because I just know, like, I just knew, like, I'm not that great of friends with her, but I was, like, trying to test the waters, you know, to see if she would do what she would say. And I was like, so did you tell him, or what? Like, what happened? Did he tell you the truth, you know, or what did you do? She goes, yeah, so I had to tell him. Like, she was like, yeah, I had to tell him the truth. So I told him that you told me this, and And she's like, I just couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't stand the thought that he was lying to me. And, like, it's her relationship. I understand that, you know. But, like, to me, as a friend, like, I don't even care about you guys no more. Like, y'all just had to bring me into this. But, and the thing is, I tested the waters. And this girl did not do what she was going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Like, it's not her fault. It's not my fault. It's just that she just did not come through with what she said she was going to do. She ended up throwing my name in there. And she was like, yeah, like, Emily already told me all the truth and stuff. So, like, to me, because I'm better friends with him than I am with her, and now the situation is kind of awkward because he knows that I told her stuff, you know. But the thing is, it's kind of awkward because I'm kind of looking at him like, why the fuck did you use my name? But anyways, like, other than that, like, it is awkward, you know. And I guess my point of this 10-minute and 39-second video is that people never come through. People just never do what they say they're going to do. And that's being reiterated to me. Like, and these are friends, you know. These are friends, like, some, like, people that I hold dear to my heart, like, that I assumed would have my back after 10 years, you know, would have my back after, like, 15 years of being friends. And it's like, no, like, people will just always fuck you over. And, like, I don't know, like, what to do or what to even say, because I was just talking to my friend, that girl, when I had talked to her, and I was like, you know what, like, I told her, and I was like, I was straight up with her. I didn't say it was her fault or anything, but I was just like, you know, like, this is why I have trust issues, though, is because people always fuck you over, and, like, they never do what they're gonna say that they're gonna do. And, like, I was like, I know you want to tell him, that's fine, that's your relationship, but you said you weren't gonna do that, and you did. And so I'm just kind of like, man, you know what, like, I've lost all hope in humanity, because it's like we can't do what we say what we're gonna do. We can't be loyal all of a sudden. Like, we pick and choose who we want to have a relationship with. It's not even about being loyal or having good intentions or motives as a person in general. Having good morals or whatever good morals means to you. Like, it's not even about that anymore. Like I want to treat everyone equally, or I want to show everyone on this earth, everyone that I come into contact with, that I am a loyal person. It's not about that. It's about, I'm going to be loyal to the people that I want to be loyal to. And I'm going to be a fake-ass bitch to the people that I want to be a fake-ass bitch to. And that's just what bothers me, because I'm kind of like, you got to be a better person than that. Like, you got to be way better than that. And if it's not, like, if you're not, because some people, like, if you call them out, people are going to be, like, butthurt about it. But the truth is, like, your actions speak a lot louder than your words. And, like, that's what I see from people, is, like, people, every time I speak about my trust issues and stuff, and I always tell them, like, I always get fucked over, so, like, you know, I just don't get real close to people. A lot of people are like, oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Fucking does the same thing, you know? So I'm just kind of like, like, you don't know what I mean, because you are those people, you know? And so it's just like, the thing is communication. You know what I mean? Honestly, it's communication. Like, if you said, I'm not gonna tell him, and then you decide you want to, I would, like, you should be asking me for permission. You should be telling me, like, hey, you know what, like, I just can't hold it in anymore. Like, can I just tell him, because I just can't, like, bear the thought of, you know, him lying to me. If she had told me that, then I would have been like, you know what, girl, like, okay, thanks for giving me a heads up, like, go ahead, like, do it. You know, like, if that really bothers you that much. Like, it's communication. She should have just at least been like, hey, you know, I'm not gonna be there. Like, my first friend, hey, you know what, my sister just gave birth, I'm not gonna be there, like, don't wait up for me. Something like that, right? So be courteous of the other person's time, but it's not, like, and that's, like, honestly, like, lack of and poor communication is the number one thing to, like, divorces, to friendship being ended, you know, to, like, horrible, you know, endings to everything and anything, is just this lack of communication, not really understanding how each other feels, but also not hearing each other out. And I guess my point is, like, I'm just so tired of that bullshit, you know, like, can't we be adult enough to just, you know, communicate, talk, send a text message, let a sister know what's up, prep me, you know what I mean? Like, prep the other person. If you know that plans are going to change and it's obviously going to affect another person that you had planned it with, you obviously need to, like, let the other person know. And as soon as possible, so that they don't wait up for you, that they don't start saving money for you, that they don't, like, buy things for you, they don't have to consider you anymore, you know, just so that they can be like, okay, like, plans are off, or, oh, you know what, like, whether or not you go, I'm gonna still go, you know what I mean? And it's just, I guess the point is just communication. I'm just so tired of all this bullshit, of people, like, trying to utilize me and thinking, like, it's okay, that it's okay, oh, she'll always be forgiving, it's okay. And motherfucker, like, no, it's not okay. Like, honestly, it is not okay to be that discourteous. Discourteous, is that even a word? But it's not okay for you to not be courteous of other people's time or my time, you know, because like for me, like I try to like communicate as best as I can. That's something that I had to learn over time. And I'm 23. Like, I feel like I'm still doing this. These people are older than me, and I'm doing this with like 27, 28-year-olds, and even like 35-year-olds who like, or 37-year-olds that don't even like try to like improve on themselves. Like, they don't see themselves as ever being wrong or needing to improve because they feel like that's their way of communication. They don't need to change. They don't need to consider anyone else. And it's just like, for me, it's just frustrating because I have a friend too who like used to like hang out with us every weekend. All of a sudden, like, he's gone, like legit, he's gone, like off the grid. Like, we don't know where he's been, and he doesn't respond to any text messages or calls or anything. And you know, it's just kind of like, where you been, bro? And he just has not responded at all. And we're just kind of like, what the fuck is happening? But like, at the same time, like, I can't do anything about it. And if he refuses to communicate, then when you come back, just don't expect loving arms to like accept you, because I just can't do that. Like you reap what you sow, and we didn't have a relationship throughout the whole time. I don't know what the fuck happened to you, and I'm not gonna try and like pick you up, or I'm not gonna try and dig into you and be like, what is it? What's wrong? What's happening? You know, like, I'm just not that kind of person who tries to like dig stuff out of you unless I really like, unless I really need to know or something. But like, and I feel like that's just, it's like situation by situation, like whatever, you know, it's different every single time. But I guess my point is, you know, stop fucking people over. Really reflect on your actions. Think about, am I that kind of person? If I don't want people to be disloyal, to be dishonest, to be a half-asser, to be like not worthy of my time, you know, like if I don't want people to do that to me, don't do that to other people. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to be forgiving of other people in that sense, don't expect for other people to be forgiving for you in that sense. And I don't, like, I try my best to do that. You know what I mean? I try my best to be considerate of other people's time by communicating with them or letting them know that, hey, you know what, as soon as I know plans has changed, you need to accommodate however you need to do, you know, and I, like, that's just communication. I feel like it's just communication. And I feel like a lot of people, like, if you've never really worked with a corporation or a group of people, or if nobody's ever like complained to you about that or reiterated that kind of thing to you, then you're not aware of that because you've never had to really experience or work with other people who actually care about their time, you know? And so I guess what I'm trying to say is I care about my time. And if you want to plan something with me, like, you best like plan and be for real 100% about it. You know, like, I'll let people know, like, I'm not sure too. If I plan a trip to, let's say, like, South Korea and I'm not sure, I'm gonna be like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna go. Just so that we know there's like this toss up in the air thing. I'm gonna prep you so that if I end up opting out later, like, you already expected it. But that's just the kind of person I am. It's fucking communication. Just drives me nuts because a lot of people don't do that. Anyways, that's just something that's been on my mind. Of course, I said it's going to be a quick video. Obviously, it's not. But it's 18 minutes, and I just feel like every single time, like, it just, like, I just hate it because I needed, the other day, especially the other day, I really, really needed help making those boutonnieres, and nobody fucking came through. And I, like, literally, me and this other girl, we just did all of them by ourselves, and it just took so fucking long because we were trying to make them look so nice for the fathers on Father's Day. And it was just, like, I just, like, it just made me, like, I didn't want to be that negative ass bitch, but then it really did, like, make me really, like, think about who's not there. Like, these are the people that said they would be there and ended up not being there without any source of communication or telling me otherwise. And that just what bothered me, because now I in my head, I just, like, tally mark it. Like, oh, that's you. That's you. That's you. That's you. You know what I mean? And I hate that because it's kind of like, I kind of like hold a grudge a little bit, right? But the thing is, like, it's not, for me, I guess it's not that I'm holding a grudge. It's more of like, I know that about you because you've done that once, maybe twice. You've done it. But the thing is that because you've done it, I know to not expect any help from you in the future or reliability upon you in the future if I was to ask you to do something. And it's just something like that. Because then that, keeping that in my head helps me to plan better. It helps me know that I can actually rely on certain people and I can't on others. And I'm just saying, like, that just helps me plan better, because I always plan. And so I'm thinking, like, if you don't want to be in my book like that, then you gotta just prove yourself loyal. Same thing with the fangirl life too, like, you know. But the thing is, that's just what I'm saying. So like I'm not trying to judge you. I'm just trying to judge you based off of what I've seen that will help me in the future. That's all I'm saying. And it helps. And it's kind of sounds selfish, but it's not. It's just whether or not you have that kind of quality that can help me shape myself, become a better person. Because I feel like ultimately, like, me and other people's lives, like, I do my best to, like, shape them and help them and counsel them and talk to them and sing with them and play with them, and, you know, like, I try my best to do all of that. But I feel like over and over again, people just fuck me over and over and over again. And I even had a friend the other day send me a long text message and was like, to be honest, like, I use you for my emotional support, because, like, I know you'll listen to me, and, like, that you'll be there for me all the time, like, anytime that I need you. And it just, like, for me, I was just kind of like, that's cool that I'm, like, that person for you. I don't have that person, unfortunately, but it's cool that I'm that person for you. Thanks for admitting it, but, like, that fucking, like, sucks so much, because it just means, like, oh, like, you don't look at me more important. Like, you don't look at all of me and be like, I appreciate, like, all of you. I just appreciate, like, your mentality. Like, I only appreciate that you listen to me. I only appreciate a part of your time. Like, and then just, like, it's just such a shitty thing. I love that she was being honest with me about it, but it's kind of like, it just, for me personally, it just, like, set me back a little bit, where I'm just kind of like, okay, so I know where I am in your life, and then I know where you are now in my life. So, like, I can't put you up there, you know? And it's just that same thing, I'm telling you. I feel like I'm not even building a brick wall anymore. I feel like I try to give so many people chances to, like, show who they are, get to know them, you know, run events with them, go to places with them, travel with them. Like, I try to do all that with all these kinds of people, giving them chances, you know, learning how to vibe off of them and the kind of personalities that they are. And then I learned to get to know them, and I realized we're all pretty shitty people. Like, we're all pretty shitty people. So, oh well, anyways, okay, I'll just end it there. It's just, I'm just tired of getting fucked over and over again. Like, it's come to the point where I gotta plan by myself, you know, like, I'm planning a few trips, and I only ask the people I know that are gonna come through, and even if they don't come through, like, I'm just gonna go by myself. Like, I've planned it to that far, so, like, it has to be like that. Anyways, alright, I'll stop talking. Good night, you guys. Don't fuck people over.